Alright, bro, we gotta talk about the Koopalings, okay? Now, we got first introduced to these Koopalings back in like the 80s or whatever when they were taking on our boy Mario, okay? They were waiting in little castles. They were waiting in little boats. They had little lava pits. They had all sorts of things they were throwing at us. They were little dragon, turtle, duck enemy boys that were kind of like little Bowsers or whatever. They had spiky like shells and they were ready to kill us at every turn. But luckily for us, these Koopalings were never very hard to beat, okay? All you had to do was jump on them once, avoid them while they went back and forth when they went into their shell, and then you had to hit them a couple more times, okay? It was pretty easy to dispatch any of these Koopalings, okay? But, you know, you might be going through these games, maybe Super Mario 3, maybe Super Mario World All-Stars or whatever, you know what I mean? Going from game to game, seeing these Koopalings all over the place, and you might be thinking to yourself, hey, these guys are pretty cute, they're pretty badass, but they're also kind of punk rock looking. And I'm here to tell you, yeah, they are kind of punk rock looking, and they're actually named after a bunch of punk rockers, okay? So we're going to talk about the Koopalings, and more importantly, we're going to talk about who they're named after, but we're not going to talk about all the Koopalings. There are some that aren't named after any punk rockers, okay? You got Morton, who's named after like a very controversial talk show host or whatever, and you got Ludwig von Koopa, okay, who's named after a little bit of a composer, Ludwig von Beethoven. You may have heard of the guy. But before we talk about any of that, I'm going to talk about myself for a bit, okay? I hope that's okay. My name is Dan Frampton. I run and operate this little YouTube channel on youtube.com called Dan Frampton, all one word. The O is a 0, okay? And we normally talk about punk rock events. We will be reviewing punk rock records. We go on with the latest topics of the day, okay? And today, I'm going to talk about the Koopalings because I've been playing some Mario Kart 8 and I've unlocked some Koopalings and I'm remembering, oh my god, these are some punk rock characters. But before we talk about these characters, show me a thumbs up, show me a subscription, hit that bell, do the always on, and join the secret society and get access to super awesome, super exclusive content. All right, you want like videos and badges and like emojis and stuff? Well, head on over to the channel, hit join, and you'll be put on this lovely graphic over here. Okay, let's talk about some Koopalings. Let's talk about the punk rock ones, okay? Well, first, let's talk about one that isn't really a punk rock one, but I'm making it a punk rock one, all right? I'm twisting the narrative a little bit. We're talking about Larry Koopa. Now, Larry Koopa is the blue-haired Koopa, all right? Already pretty dang punk rock looking, if I do say so myself. He's the youngest of the Koopalings, okay? He's a little guy, all right? He's not really that hard to beat, but he's apparently named after nobody. Apparently, he just looks like a Larry, but the same guy who just said he looked like a Larry said that he was named after the U2 drummer, who's also named is Larry, all right? But that's not very punk rock, so I gotta twist the narrative. I gotta make myself EC3, and I gotta write my own narrative here, and I'm saying that Larry Koopa is named after Larry Livermore, the founder of Lookout Records, who, by the way, his real name isn't even really Larry. But Larry Koopa, we got you coming in as the first punk rock Koopaling, all right? Now, we gotta get on to the actual punk rock Koopalings. Now this one I'm going to bring up, you might be like, hey, that's not really punk rock, but I'm going to tell you it is. We're talking about Lemmy Koopa. Now who could Lemmy Koopa be named after? Yeah, probably the only guy ever named Lemmy. Lemmy from Motorhead, you know, the ace of spades, you win some, you lose some, the ace of spades. That guy, you know what I mean? He's the guy who's like all about the Triple H, all about like the making of the DX theme songs or whatever. Lemmy, all right? So they were out there making this game back in the 80s, and they were like, you know what? We got the Motorhead cranking, you know what I mean? And this guy looks kind of crazy. This is a wild lunatic of a guy. He's got a multicolored mohawk going on. He's all googly-eyed, all right? And he's out there to cause some mayhem. He's out there to cause some chaos. We're going to call this guy Lemmy, and I think it's a very fitting name for this guy. And apparently, his twin brother is named Iggy Koopa. Now, who could Iggy Koopa be named after? And I bet you're not really scratching your head too hard. You're not probably making any dandruff or blood coming out of your scalp by scratching too hard. You probably know who Iggy Koopa is named after, alright? Obviously, Iggy Azalea, alright? No, I'm just kidding. You know it's Iggy Pop from back in the day, proto-punk guy, the godfather of punk rock, okay? Iggy Pop and the Stooges, alright? He's all about a lust for life, but not in this game. In this game, Iggy Koopa doesn't have a lust for life. He has a lust for mayhem. He has a lust for creativity, alright? This guy is a wild man, alright? And in some iterations, he's kind of drawn up to be a big stupid boy, and sometimes his manic nature is depicted as a genius. You know what I mean? So depending if you're watching the cartoon, depending on what game you're playing, you're getting a different kind of crazy Iggy Koopa. But apparently, these guys are twin brothers. You got Iggy and Lemmy just running around being crazy boys. Now, back in the day, Iggy Koopa used to have the multicolored hair as well, and a bit of craziness going on in the eyes, but he doesn't really have the googly eyes. He has extra stuff going on in the eyes, he's zooming out, you know what I mean? He's that kind of vibe going on, and he doesn't have the multicolored hair anymore. It's more like this big green poof. He kind of looks just like a vegetable, I suppose, but he's really, really fun to rip around with on Mario Kart. I've been winning many races with the old Iggy Koopa. He's actually my good luck charm right now, and I'm just going to be taking home cup after cup after cup with these guys. Because all my life, I've been going through these games, going through all the castles and booping and bopping these little guys on the head. You know what I mean? Avoiding them. You know what I mean? Getting their little canes, getting their little wands, falling down, giving to the little king guy, and then moving on to the next level, all right? I've been doing that for decades. Year after year, Mario grind after Mario grind. Super Mario World 1, 2, 3, 4, New Super Mario World, New Super Mario World U, New Super Mario World U Luigi style, you know what I mean? All these stupid Mario games, and finally, I get to play as these guys in Mario Kart 8. So I'm ripping, I'm roaring, I'm having a great time being a little bit of a lunatic boy, alright? But now, we're moving on to the most punk rock Koopaling, okay? This is the most hardcore, the most badass of them all, all right? We're talking about Wendy O. Koopa. Now, if you're familiar with punk rock music, okay? If you know your punk rock legends, you know who Wendy O. Koopa is named after. I'll give you a hint. It's another person named Wendy O. You know what I mean? They really hit the nail on the head with all these ones. There's not really another Iggy or Lemmy or Wendy O. So yeah, we're going to be talking about Wendy O. Williams of the Plasmatics. Very iconic lady, okay? She's got all sorts of buzzed kinds of hair. She's got the whole tank girl aesthetic going a lot of the time, and she's just growling. She's just gruff. This woman was so punk rock. A lot of people will be like, hey, Joan Jett, she's a pretty punk rock girl. No. Wendy O. Williams makes Joan Jett kind of look like Selena Gomez, okay? She is absolutely the epitome of badass punk rock lady, and they took all that badass punk rock attitude and they put it all inside of punk rock legendary Koopaling named Wendy O. Koopa. Okay, now this Wendy O. Koopa, she's got the big pink bow. Okay, she's got those big ass lips. She's got the really angry face, all right? She's going on with all the pink, and then she has the big rings around her wrists, all right? And this character design has been her character design ever since the beginning of time, all right? All these other Koopalings, they have evolutions. They go through different styles, and Wendy O. Koopa has pretty much stayed the same throughout the entire evolution of the Mario series. Her shell might have changed colors every now now and then, but mostly it's the same kind of style going on here, alright? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that was the video about the Koopalings. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell if you're cool as hell. Watch these other videos over here, and until my next upload, you can watch another upload. Okay, see you later.